I want to introduce myself. I'm Andy Lockmears, and this is my colleague.
Hi, I'm Whitney Madden. I'm an acupuncturist and certified brain health coach. And we are glad you are joining us today to learn more about how to accelerate your online diagnostic skills and to be able to increase revenue during this uncertain time.
That's right. So we have put together this little Facebook Live where we're just going to be explaining about the course, the online program that we developed together. Now, I am a traditional naturopath and a German new medicine teacher and consultant. And what I'd like you to do, Whitney, is tell about your journey. You're an acupuncturist. I'm a German new medicine person. And yet we are melding these two things together. What does that mean to you as an acupuncturist?
Well, I've been in practice for 20 years, and I also had a wellness center with 14 different practitioners, and we offered 30 different modalities. And what I realized over time as I was in practice and working with my colleagues was that I was starting to figure out another level of root of disease. But I didn't have the framework and the language to be able to pull it together. And so I guess it's been 3 years ago when I first started learning German New Medicine. When I first heard the framework and the paradigm of understanding how the psyche takes in information and that we then have a biological response, which in Chinese medicine or Western medicine would say, another word for that would be illness or symptoms. And so what I realized is that we, as wise as Chinese medicine is, there was a missing piece. And the missing piece was German New Medicine because of what Dr. Hammer discovered in using CT scans. And I'll let you talk about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll give you a little background on German New Medicine. So this is a totally different paradigm of understanding disease. And it is so timely right now because we need more information about what's going on in the world and why. And German New Medicine explains all of it. So here's a physician who 35, almost 40 years ago, he received a phone call one day that his teenage son had been shot while on vacation. 4 months later, his son dies in his arms. And here he is, a gifted physician, healthy and fit in his early 40s, and his son dies in his arms. I can only imagine how devastating that was for him. And then a few months after that, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And he's thinking, okay, there's got to be some correlation. And he decided to look at CT scans. He's not really like body, mind, spirit type guy, like a lot of us would be. So he's looking at CT scans. He's working at the University of Munich at this point. And he realized that everyone in the cancer clinic, that he took all their CT scans, every single one of them had a circle in their brain in a different location. And he was really intrigued by that. Nobody could explain what that circle was. So he started delving further and he talked with his patients. What's going on in your life? Realized all of them had had some sort of trauma or distress prior to their diagnosis, just like he had. He starts correlating all this information and he realizes that people with the same kind of trauma all had the circle in the same place in the brain. That was amazing right there. So the same trauma, they have the same place in the brain where the circle is located. And then he realized that they all had the same diagnosis of cancer. Now, this was 100%. And if you know anything about modern medicine, nothing is 100%. Do all people who smoke get lung cancer? No. So smoking is not a cause of lung cancer, okay? It's a contributing factor, but it's not the cause. What Dr. Hammer then did is over the next few years, he mapped out the entire brain. He looked at the circles. He got in tens of thousands of CT scans and looked at where their circles were and what their medical histories were. And he discovered what begins every single, what we'll call a disease. And it's the conflict shock that starts a program in the body that is a survival mechanism. Okay, is that making sense at this point?
That's like when I heard that, and I understood, because I kept seeing people who were struggling and they were having traumas and they were having conflicts, and they would have knee pain, or they would have a rash, or they would have digestive problems, but I knew that the conflict was causing that, but I didn't know why. And what I really love about German New Medicine is that it really talks about the psyche. I'm also going to say psyche and subconscious, carefully.
Yes, yes.
But in my work, I see people responding to things in their body that they aren't necessarily aware of. And that's what we're talking about, the psyche.
Right.
And
exactly.
So when we can bring awareness to the psyche, when we can bring it out of the subconscious and the psyche into the consciousness, that's when we have the power and the ability to actually change course and to help our bodies finish that biological process.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of GNM. It gives us the answers of why.
Right.
Why is this symptom occurring in this person?
Right.
What is the natural course for this particular symptom, and how does it naturally resolve?
Right. Right. And so those were the other pieces I was missing, because I didn't know what the course was going to be. Like I didn't, and so I couldn't help the client to know, like, if this happens, this is going to be okay. This is just part of the process. Right. And so now that I've got that piece, I can help take the fear out of what's happening in their bodies. And that is just a huge gift to them, because it's not only, they're not, so many times, clients would come and be like, fix me. And it's like, that's at such a low conscious level. Like there's so many things that is going on that we need to address. And I think German New Medicine does a really good job of that.
Absolutely. And I found the same thing as a holistic practitioner. It's like I had gaps, I had a lot of skills and I helped a lot of people, but it's like, oh, I've got some people that I'm trying everything I know and it's not working.
Right.
So that's where GNM fits in and it fills in all the information that we're missing. So if you were to look at GNM and TCM, how do you see these blend?
So I think, Chinese medicine has so much ancient wisdom. And I think being able to take that wisdom, because they did an amazing job of observing the environment around them, of observing the weather patterns and, the astrology and the feng shui and, all of these things that were happening around us as humans. And their thought process was that we as humans are microcosms of all of that is happening, which they were spot on. What we know now, because of German New Medicine, is depending on how that person is receiving that information around the environment, that is what is going to manifest as the biological process in the body. And the biological process meaning symptoms, illness, disease, any of those terms.
Right.
So the integration of being able to take that wisdom of Chinese medicine and to understand the neuroscience of the biological process of the body. I mean, we know there's an innate healing wisdom. I mean, I have been told from the beginning of Chinese medicine school, our job is not to cure or heal anybody. Our job is to bring the body-mind back into balance so that the body can take care of itself. And now what this step of GNM, of adding that into our practice, that adds the ability to let our clients know what the biological process is, why it happened, what the course is going to be and how to avoid that in the future. I mean,
Right.
that's like,
Right.
yeah, that's, it's amazing.
And so you're able to then, I'm just kind of piecing this together in my head, you're able to then see that and do the acupuncture points or the herbs that are going to support what German new medicine is telling you. Is
Right, right,
right?
absolutely, because we're going to use all of our skills. And so, you know, with this program, we're still going to use Chinese medicine diagnosis, Chinese medicine treatment protocols. We're still going to use all of our lifestyle skills and all of that. We're just going to add to that to fill in those gaps to be able to remove fear from being sick. Like now, since I've learned German new medicine, and people like my clients just laugh at me, but they get it, because what happens, they come to me and they're like, oh, I had diarrhea again, like I had another episode. I'm like, that's great, you just resolved a conflict, this is fantastic news. So this is what this means, and this is why you're going through it, and this is what the pathway is going to be, and this is how you can avoid it next time, and they just kind of sit back and they can slowly take it in. But it's an education process of educating the client. But we use all of our skills as acupuncturists, and we're just blending it to be able to skyrocket our efficiency and our effective treatment plan with our clients. So and when you do that, you're then able to help more people and see more clients, because you're teaching them something. You're teaching them how to fish. You're teaching them something that they can take into their lives, and not only help them their own selves, but help their family and friends and clients and all of that. I mean, my goal from the very beginning of practice was to try to put myself out of business. I thought, this was my thinking: if I can put myself out of business, I have taught Chinese medicine in such a way to my clients that they can take care of themselves.
Oh, I love it.
And I think I was not successful in that. I wasn't able to do that, which I know sounds crazy, but now with German new medicine, I think that goal is so much more possible to be able to do that. So
and that makes total sense to me. Absolutely.
So tell me because you naturopath and you do Western herbs, and I mean, you have a plethora of tools in your tool bag. I mean, how did you get into German new medicine?
Well, I was similarly, I had my wellness center and was seeing clients a lot. And I know that a couple of them are probably on this Facebook page. So hi to all of you in Maine. And I was seeing clients and always looking for what's the next training I need to be able to help my clients, and would go fly to wherever in the world I needed to go to get another training and yet have another modality. And there were still people I couldn't help. And so I think I came across it online. And this, of course, was years ago. This would have been more like 2007 or so. Started learning about it, although it made absolutely no sense. Bought the book, had that for a year. It still made no sense, even though it's basically in English, still made no sense. And I thought, I'm being guided to this. I don't even know what it is. But I signed up for the first training that they were having, that I was able to attend in Canada. And in the first 30 minutes of that first workshop, I totally understood how to read the book. So it was this key fitting into this lock. And once it fit, I never unfit it. It's like, oh my gosh, a whole new world opened up for me. I got home on Monday night. On Tuesday morning, I'm hauling my book out for my first client, trying to figure out, okay, what did I learn this past week? I need to apply it right now. And so I started applying it in 2009 with my clients and had phenomenal, really, really great success with it in a way I never had before. So it's like, okay, it's the answer we're looking for filling in the missing pieces. I see it, you see it, everyone who gets into it sees it as well.
Well, and I think too, like right now, especially because we as acupuncturists in can't put our needles in, right? Can't
Right.
can't do what we do.
Right.
And we still have a plethora of, tools and lifestyle and education, and we can still teach, qigong and meditation and exercise and nutrition, and we have so many things.
Yeah.
But we are reliant, part of our diagnostic skills is tongue and pulse diagnosis,
Right.
right? And so we definitely can't feel the pulse. We may kind of sort of see their tongue if the camera lighting is right and they send
Right.
the iPhone shot of it. But we really, and we don't have the ability to palpate. So, part of, my diagnosis was palpating the points and the channels as I was working. And
Yeah.
so we don't have that capacity right now. And so I think where German New Medicine comes in is we can interview and talk with the client to be able to help them figure out what it is that is causing the biological program to run, or the illness or symptoms to come up. And then once we figure that out, we can totally apply our herbs. We can give them acupressure. We can give them food suggestions. We can give them exercise suggestions. We can give them lifestyle. We can give them everything that we need to, but we're not able to do it in our normal, structure.
Right.
So
So
that's
it's
the
look a
beauty.
little different right now.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
so
it
then
does. Yeah.
and that's the beauty, of the course, is that I think one thing for those that are listening and that are debating whether to take this course or not, one of the things that I think Andy does really, really well is she takes this super complicated, complex system of German New Medicine. Yeah, see that chart behind her? Like, she takes that and she explains it in a way where you can actually utilize it. And then not only does she take it to have you utilize it, but then she has you utilize it for yourself, and she has you utilize it again and again and again. So by the end of the program, you have a running start of really being able to do it. And then what I do in the course is then I bring in the Chinese medicine piece of how to integrate it. And we even get into some marketing things to be able to, there's no reason right now that all acupuncturists should not be working. Yes,
Right.
we can't touch people, but we should all be full steam ahead working right now. We should be in touch with our clients on a at least weekly basis,
Mhm.
doing small classes. There's so many things we can be doing right now, and we should be seeing them individually as well. So there's so many things that this program does to help fill in so many gaps from so many different directions.
Absolutely. And I love it. So this is a new, collaboration for us. We're really excited by this program. There is no other program on this planet that is for acupuncturists that is like this program. I just need to put that in there because no one else has blended GNM with acupuncture. So
Right.
it's unique, it's cutting edge. And if you're ready to really skyrocket your business and your skills, I think this would be an awesome way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What else? Yeah, I wanted to also say that the program is made in such a way that you can advance very quickly. So people might be thinking, okay, how am I going to learn all this information? We're on shutdown for how many more weeks? And the beauty of what we've done is we've combined and made a very fast program. So you can learn this and start applying it very quickly.
Yes.
It's not going to take you months and months and months, or basically years, to learn this and to be able to use it.
Right.
You can start learning it and using it immediately, like next week, literally.
Right.
So
Right.
it's fast, and you can use this once we're over shutdown. This can be
Absolutely.
an integrated part of your practice.
Right.
And I think you're going to see that you're more effective with using GNM with your acupuncture.
Absolutely. And I think, for me, I've been to many CEU courses over the years. I've been in person, I've taken them online throughout the years. And for me, one of the things that was really important when we designed this was to make sure that the skill was there by the time they finished, that it was really locked in, not just like, oh yeah, go home and study this on your own for a while.
Right.
And that there was continued support. And so we have also, after the program, if you want more support, we have a membership program where you can come in on calls and bring your case studies. That's the other thing that I've done so many times, is I've been really excited about learning something new. And then I'm like, okay, I can kind of sort of figure out these clients. And then I hit one client and I'm like totally stuck and I can't figure it out and I can't figure it out. And then what I do is I put the whole thing away. I put the whole modality or the whole tool. But here we also have live classes during the program that are running. So you can bring your case studies then. And if you desire in a month that you need some more help, or in 5 months that you need more help, you can jump on and jump into a membership that's just, can be on calls for a month and get some support from Andy and I of how to integrate whatever you need. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful match. It's a beautiful, and I think the program is just, I'm so excited. It's a very robust, but very user-friendly program.
It is. And it's a 16 credit hour class.
Right.
And that includes, that's your self-paced, which is 13 hours of that. And then 3 hours is divided up into 2 live classes. And that will help to go over any questions. You can bring case studies, make sure that you have different concepts. Learning GNM is like learning a new language. And I will tell you, as far as from being a brain health certified coach, to learn a new language right now during stress and trauma is really, really good for your brain. Your brain is going to be able to focus on something positive, on something functional, and it's really good to be able to do that for your brain right now. So for your brain health.
That makes so much sense too. In this time, in this shutdown, it's like, okay, let's use your brain to make it so you can do business more effectively and hopefully increase your revenues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, the other thing that I appreciate that you've done, Andy, is that you put together a 45-minute video that is a basic information for people. And so you give that as part of the program to the practitioners. So the practitioner actually, when we're done with the course, they can take that 45-minute video and share it with all of their clients so that they have that same language. And so you've already created the introduction. And so literally practitioners have everything that they need to go.
Yay! What more could you ask for? Absolutely. Wonderful. So anything else? Yeah. What else do we need to cover?
I don't know. Can we take questions? I mean, I'm not.
Jenny, can we take questions? They would be written, right? Would they be on? I'm going to jump on and see if people have written anything in that. Right. I see just a few comments. I don't see any questions.
Okay.
The course is open for registration now, and it's called Accelerated Online Diagnostic Tools for Acupuncturists.
Skills, yes.
Skills.
So, and so the course is ongoing registration. So you can join at any time because it's self-paced. And then the live sections we will be offering over the next months. And so if you want to join now, or you want to join, the beginning of June, you can do that. You can join at any time that's convenient for you. So that's another beautiful part of it. So, So to get more information on the class, so the Facebook page has links as well. You can go to brainwiseacupuncturist.com, and that will have my courses on there. And then your website?
Mine's andylockmears.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and my courses are on there.
ANI.
This course we're talking about on both of our websites.
Yes.
And you can sign up on either website. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and if anybody has questions, welcome to ask them, on Facebook later, or, we are very accessible.
We are. And that's really important to us, to be accessible to you in the course.
Yes.
Or thinking about the course.
Well, and also we didn't talk about that, just to mention briefly, is as part of the course, we have a discussion board. So
Right.
which is kind of like a private Facebook group. And so you can, as you're taking the course, that's self-paced. And normally when you do that, you're doing that in a vacuum and you can't ask anybody questions. But if you have questions along the way, you just post it on the discussion board and Andy or I will respond to it. So that's a good support too. So
absolutely. Plus we'll be doing the live teleconferences twice a month. So we'll see you,
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's awesome. So it's a great program. If you're an acupuncturist, really think about this, because I really think it's a game changer for everyone, but definitely for acupuncturists. You bring a wealth of knowledge and 5,000 years of Chinese medicine and wisdom to this. And it's blending that entire incredible amount of data and info with this very brand new, in the past 40 years, discoveries about the human body. Can you imagine if the people who all the folks 5,000 years ago who were writing a yellow book, wasn't it a yellow something? My
jig.
Yeah, exactly. When they're writing that, if they had GNM information, oh my gosh. I mean, it would have changed Chined medicine back then.
It would have, and it's Chinese medicine along the way has been able to see so many of these different aspects, but it's almost like we've danced around it. And this piece gives us that fulcrum in the middle that we're looking for to solidify Chinese medicine. Yeah,
that's fascinating.
So
I never thought of that. Awesome. Okay. Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us, and let us know if you have any questions.
Well, thank you all very much. Appreciate your time.
Take care, and we hope to see you soon.
Bye-bye.